love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Reason.
This is an interesting thing that happened. What was here before was a rock-looking type tile, and that rock-looking type tile was wavy, and it was a horrible job, just as bad as the rest of this tile was. Just as bad as the rest of this tile was done. The floor was done also. It was wavy, and I'm sure it was pooling with water, etc., etc. So all that got taken out. That material got taken out. The guy that did it didn't come back. They found somebody else. Somebody else came in here, put in the new pan liner that the customer bought. The pan liner was set in. I don't know what they were thinking here. This is kind of weird. So I guess they just figured they'll kind of wrap it around there, although it's not going to work that way. They did some caulking up in here in the corner of the wood. That's kind of weird. But this is even the weirdest thing. This is a flood test. The flood test is to make sure that you haven't messed up putting your liner in. So the way that he was going to ensure that he didn't mess up putting his liner in is he decided to cover every possibility of water getting into any type of weep holes. On one of these top covers, you have these 4 weep holes, and all 4 of those need to be free and clear. So he inadvertently put silicone into one of those weep holes, as he did with this recess where the bolts go on, as he did with the bolts around them also. So he put caulking everywhere, every possibility where there was water going to get into the pan liner, which in this case, you can see the pan liner clearly through that weep hole, but the whole purpose of the weep hole is so that water will go down up under this part and then into your drain. But he covered up, at least this one, he covered up this area, which didn't need to be covered up. He covered up the troughs. I can feel the silicone on the trough. So the silicone is directly on the trough, and when you flip these flanges over, they have the exact same trough underneath. So what did he do? He made it impossible for that trough to ever work because he put silicone all up around the bottom edge of here. So in essence, what he did is the things that this setup is supposed to have happen for you to make sure that if you have water into your pan, that water will evacuate out of your pan. He has prevented that from ever happening by using caulking on there. I've never seen that done. I don't know why somebody would do that. So that begs the question, what happened underneath? Like, how big were these holes where the bolts go? You know, I don't know. You know, it's just a weird anomaly that I've never seen before. Why would you ever do that on a flange of a shower drain? It makes no sense. So he put the plug in to make sure there were no leaks, and of course there's so much caulking on here that of course there's going to be no leaks, because he probably put caulking up under this whole flange too, and then bolted it down. I don't know. He could have done that. There's no pre-slope, which is, you know, okay, I don't do pre-slopes, but if there's not going to be a pre-slope, you should at least have your bottom flange flush to the floor, so that you only have this little 1/4 inch of your flange of possible water, not even a quarter, an 1/8 of an inch of your flange where water can evacuate out. That's the way that it should be flushed to the floor. That's what I'm saying. But if you're going to do a pre-slope, then you shouldn't have your bolt areas sitting on top of your floor, which is exactly what he did, because there's a good feel of the ridge of the bottom flange going on here, which means that if you ever had water get into your pan, that you would have this much water from that finger to that finger full of water into your pan before your weep holes ever kicked in. But your weep holes can't kick in and your troughs can't kick in because he decided to caulk all that and negate the whole theory and the whole purpose of having that evacuation going on. So again, that's another anomaly, and it's kind of bizarre that I ran into a couple of pretty big problems with shower drains in the same week. This is Thursday, and I just posted a video on Monday of another mistake that another so-called tiler did with this. So I don't know if the same plumber put this drain in. I don't know that to be true. I imagine it was the guy who messed up on all the tile that put the drain in, but I don't know. If you don't know how to do something, then don't do it. Simple as that. But, you know, as a homeowner, you should also know this stuff. And a huge reason, I've said it time and time again on other videos, a huge reason why I post this stuff is so that you're aware of what's going on. If you ever see this, if you're getting a shower done and a flood test is being done, either by a plumber, tiler, or whatever, and you see anything like that, even remotely close to that, stop, because this is wrong. You're asking for a problem to develop in the future.